So you want to be a leader. A leader is a person who influences or commands others to accomplish a task. Being a leader in the church is an important role that needs to be understood. It is important to know what it means to lead like Jesus when leading in the church. Blanchard, Hodges, and Hendry stated from the book Lead Like Jesus, every human being is a leader in some part of his or her life. Because leadership is an influence process, anytime you seek to influence the thinking, behavior, or development of someone in your personal and professional life, you are taking on the role of a leader. Leading like Jesus is reflective in the statement Paul made to the church in Corinth, be imitators of Christ, in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1. In other words, to be a great leader, do what Christ did, which is the objective of this instructional video. Jesus knew his why for leading. He led by example. He was a great communicator and an active listener. He was knowledgeable of the scriptures. He walked in humility and he walked in integrity. I am Elder Sylvia Yates from On Eagles Wings Christian Fellowship, and this instructional video will help you to understand and know what it means to be a great leader who follows in the footsteps of Jesus Christ. Step 1. To be a great leader, a person must first want to be a leader. A person cannot lead others and the desire to lead is not present. There are 3 questions one should ask themselves when desiring to lead others. Question number 1, ask yourself, why do you want to be a leader? Do you desire to be a leader because you want to make a difference? Or you just want the title and the position of a leader to feel important? Question number 2, ask yourself, what work have I done to prepare myself to lead others? Jesus prepared himself to be a leader. He worked as a carpenter, he studied in the temple with the priests, and he prayed. What jobs have you performed that has placed you in the role of being a leader? What tasks have you performed that require you to make pertinent decisions for a team of individuals? What is your why for wanting to lead? And question number 3, ask yourself what skills and strengths you can offer in being a leader. Are you a good organizer? Can you put together an event? Do you know various aspects of administration such as managing others and budgeting? Can you take a budget for a year, break it down, and divide it into different organizations so that way the ministry knows what it can and cannot do? Are you already in those type of roles where you can lead others and manage others effectively? This is something that you would need to ask yourself in order for you to know if you are in a place where you are ready to lead others. Step 2, to be a great leader, one must lead by example. To lead by example, do not just tell people what to do, show them. For instance, if you want a person to know how to pray, sit and pray with them. Show them how to put together a prayer. Show them how to make a prayer outline and then pray along with them. Just like in a restaurant, a manager would not just tell someone how to make a burger. They would first show the employee how to make the burger by working with them and then allow them to make the burger. Work with those whom you are leading. Also, in leading by example, arrive to service about 10 to 15 minutes early and make sure the facility is clean, trash is picked up, bathrooms are tidy and clean. Be the change you want to see in your team members. If something is broken, fix it. If a light bulb needs to be replaced, replace it. If a spill is on the floor and needs to be mopped up, mop it up. Don't wait for others to do what you can do yourself. Most importantly, have a positive attitude. If you show up happy and upbeat, your team members will have a positive and upbeat attitude. Laugh, smile, and greet people, because laughter is good like a medicine. And as a leader, you are building trust, and others are willing to follow your example when they see you putting in the work. Step 3, a great great leader needs to be knowledgeable of the scriptures. Invest in a good study Bible. Use a different version of the Bible than the King James Version. Sometimes you may have to go to the Message Version or the New International Version or the English Standard Version. Whichever version works for you, utilize that version. Get you a concordance to help you to know what various words mean in the Hebrew and in the Greek. And utilize the Bible apps online. Take 15 to 30 minutes out of the day to sit, read, and meditate and memorize scripture. Jesus was knowledgeable of the scriptures. When he was tempted by Satan, he responded, "It is written." He could say that because the word was in him, and he spent time studying the scriptures. In addition, attend Bible seminars, workshops, conferences on leadership, or enrolled in a ministry school such as Liberty University. The more you know, the better you will lead. Also, seek out a mentor to help guide you. Timothy had Paul to help instruct him. There are a lot of things in ministry you will not know, and seeking the advice and wisdom of someone who has walked the path you are trying to walk on will help with the hiccups and detours in the road. Just like Moses, when his father-in-law Jethro told him to seek out 70 elders to help him in leading the people so he would not experience burnout. That was wisdom. Invest in learning and becoming a well-rounded leader. The more you know, the more you can impart into the lives of the people you are leading. Step 4, great leaders are great communicators and active listeners. To communicate with someone else, ask questions. You are developing a dialogue between you and another individual. When you are talking to someone, ask questions and allow the other person to respond. Jesus demonstrated this with the woman at the well in John chapter 4. He asked her questions and allowed her to respond before he spoke. This allows you to process what is being said and respond accordingly. When you are unsure of what a person is saying, repeat back to them what you heard, and the person can tell you what he or she said. For instance, do not interrupt the person speaking while they're talking. Allow the person to finish talking, then speak. This shows you are actively listening to the other person. As a leader, be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. That's James chapter 1 and verse 19. Also, do not be distracted with other activities such as being on the phone, doing other work while someone is talking to you. Give the person from whom you're speaking with your undivided attention. Put your cell phone down. Or then you can put your cell phone on silence. If you're a woman, put your cell phone in your purse. Maintain eye contact with the person that you're speaking with so that person can know that you are engaged in the conversation and what they're saying to you is important. So don't be distracted doing other things when you're talking to someone. Communicate with that person. Ask questions if it's something that you heard that you didn't understand, and then respond to that person. That is what communication and active listening consists of. Step 5, a great leader walks in humility. Patrick M. Lencioni stated, "Humility is the single greatest and most indispensable attribute of being a team player. To walk in humility, do not brag. When you brag, you excessively talk about your accomplishments and achievements. Have you ever found yourself in a room with someone who comes in and all the while they're there, they're constantly going on about the achievements that they've accomplished, awards that they've received? That can, to you, sometimes can get you into a place of, annoyance, to be honest about it. But when you are a leader, don't do that. Don't brag excessively about your accomplishments. It's okay to be proud of your achievements, but not in excess. Also, be patient. Wait on your time to lead. Just because you may not be in a leadership position now, wait your turn. Continue to put in the work to grow into being a leader. Show up. Do the work. Be engaged in the ministry, and your time will come. David was anointed king, and it took 15 years before he became king. Your time will come, so be patient. In addition, be thankful and grateful for what you have and where you are. In being thankful and grateful, you're acknowledging that the place you are in is not because of anything you have done. Gratitude denotes being courteous, kind, meek, and respectful of others. If a person tells you hello, respond back. If a person tells you thank you, respond you are welcome back. Humility says even though you walk in authority, you are humble enough to walk under authority and treat everyone with dignity and respect. Esteem others. Become selfless. In addition to walk in humility, forgive others. To forgive others means you let go of the offense. It does not mean that the offense did not hurt you. It just means you will not allow the offense to hinder you. To walk in forgiveness, pray and allow the Holy Spirit to lead you. Jesus told the disciples to forgive as often as it was needed. As a leader, forgive quickly. There's a movie that I loved by Disney. It was called Frozen. And the oldest sister was named Elsa. And she sung a song that says, "Let it go." Sometimes when you're in a leadership position, there are going to be things that are going to come up that you will have to let it go, because you don't want to hold grudges to the fact that you develop bitterness and resentment, because that would impede or hinder what God is trying to do in your life. So let it go. Forgive quickly and just let it go. Because forgiveness is a process. Sometimes it doesn't always happen overnight, but the more you let it go, the more you'll be able to move and become the leader that you aspire to be and the leader that God is preparing you to be. Step 6, a great leader walks in integrity. What you say and do matters. To walk in integrity, do what is right, even when no one is looking. Do not take a pen and paper from the office because you need them at home. Do not leave for lunch and do not clock out. That is stealing time. Just because no one sees you, it does not make it right. Integrity also means to be open and honest. Do not say one thing and do another. For instance, if you say you will be at church for a meeting at a specified time, be there. Do not come late or not show up altogether. When you are integral, you will let your yes be yes and your no be no. As a leader, walking in integrity means you are adaptable to change. Life is constantly changing, and situations will arise that are beyond your control, and it will require you to be open for change. This was evident with the COVID pandemic. Churches had to adapt to a new way of having services. I like to call it a new normal. They had to adapt to the change that took place as a result of COVID. If the church did not change, the church would not have survived. As a leader, be versatile and open to change. Make sure your private life reflects your public life. Don't be nice to people in public and mean to your family in private. Be consistent. Who you are in public should be the same person you are in private. In being a leader, you will make mistakes, but do not allow the mistakes to define who you are as a leader. Learn from the mistakes and continue to strive to be a better leader. Remember your why for wanting to be a leader. Lead by example. Be a great communicator and an active listener. Walk in humility and be a person of integrity. Most importantly, be led by the Spirit of God. I want to leave you with this quote from Blanchard, Hodges, and Hendry, who stated, "For followers of Jesus, servant leadership is not an option. Servant leadership is a mandate. Our servant leadership is to be a living statement of who we are in Jesus, an identity evident in how we treat one another, and how we demonstrate the love of Jesus to the whole world." I am Elder Sylvia Yates. Thank you for watching. Be blessed.